How do you win your dream home in a hyper-competitive seller's market? Hey, it's Carrie Flatla here, Associate Broker with Remax Real Estate Lethbridge and Carrie Flatla and Associates. I'm here to talk to you today about the lost art of offer presentation. In the olden days, offers were presented in person. Can you imagine? Face to face. I was going to name this video Real Estate Fight Club, the sequel, because I did a related video on this topic a few years ago when the market started to really heat up in Lethbridge, after COVID. And it's gotten bloodier out there, folks, and home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, are just taking it in the teeth. Really tough to lock down a nice property. And just to give you, a couple of quick stats before I get into the art and science of offer presentation, as of today, there is only 1.6 months of inventory in the city of Lethbridge proper. That's wild. 315 listings total. When I started in real estate over 10 years ago, 7, 8, sometimes 900 listings. So that's what it looks like. And if you're in the 400,000 and under bracket, we only have about 1 month inventory. For most people, it takes a month just to close. So it's wild. Now, what am I talking about when I talk about the lost art of offer presentation? In a hyper-competitive market where there's a very good chance, especially under 400,000, but we're seeing it above that too, there's a very good chance that you will be competing with multiple other buyers. The seller holds the cards. I can't say this enough because everyone's forgetting how this works. The seller holds the cards. That's just the law of supply and demand, okay? Prices go up when there's a shortage of product being homes for sale. So the seller holds the cards. How do we get the seller's attention when there's multiple other offers on the table? And even if you're not competing with other offers, how do we get the seller's attention so that we can have a successful negotiation, because we're going to have a relationship with that seller right until closing day. And you want to get the best price, terms, and conditions possible. So when you're interviewing a realtor to represent you as a home buyer, you need to talk about these things. What are things that you can do with your realtor to present your offer in the most strategic way possible and win? First of all, as a realtor, I hope that they're picking up the phone. So I always pick up the phone, whether I have the seller or the buyer. I always pick up the phone. There should always be a conversation before the negotiations begin. Now, if I represent the buyer, especially in a competing situation, but even if not, I pick up the phone so that I can sell my buyer to the listing agent. What does that mean? I want to talk about the strength of my buyer's pre-approval and their ability to buy. I'm not giving away their confidential details or information, but do they have a real pre-approval? Is it a broker-approved pre-approval? Is it underwritten? All these kinds of things. The buyer might give me instructions to disclose certain things about their financial strength or their motivation. If I have lawful instructions, I can do that. So realtors need to start talking more, because filling out a DocuSign and sending a couple texts is not negotiating, nor is it sales. We have to have conversations. How do you fill out the offer? That matters too. So talking about pre-approvals, are you putting 20% down, 50% down? Is it an equity deal? Are you first-time home buyer, but you have a great job and your pre-approval is ready to go? The mortgage broker said we can have this deal done in 3 to 5 business days. Hey, that looks good, especially if you're competing with other offers that also have a financing condition. Sellers and listing agents do not like crashed deals, and the crash rate in Lethbridge is still ridiculously high, and it shouldn't be. There's no reason for it, and it's usually over financing, and the diligence was not done ahead of home shopping. So financing's a big one. How about property inspection? The way the inspection condition is currently written in our standard form purchase contracts basically says subject to buyer approval of the home inspection. That means the buyer can back out over a $200 repair. A little bit of rust on the furnace, I'm out. So the seller wants to know that there isn't going to be any messing around or silly drama over minor repairs after a home inspection. Do you think that that could be communicated either in the purchase contract itself? You can write a deficiency tolerance into an inspection condition. Yes, you can. And a conversation with the other realtor. You can communicate those kinds of things in a negotiation. Again, think about the seller and their position and if they hold all the cards or not. I'm seeing escalation clauses being used quite a bit in this market. All I'm going to say about escalation clauses, which basically says the buyer will go to a certain price, you're tipping your hand immediately to the seller. You do not know if you're going to win in those competing offers. If you don't win, you might come back to the table and write a backup offer, which has to be negotiated, and you've already tipped your hand on what you're willing to pay. Or that first accepted offer could crash. Remember what I just said, the crash rate is high in Lethbridge. If that crashes, you might be the buyer who comes back to the table and you've already tipped your hand what you're willing to pay. So think long and hard before you use an escalation clause. You can be very strategic and you can win in a competing offer situation without using an escalation clause. How you draft the offer matters. It needs to be drafted properly and professionally. It's not just a matter of filling in a few blanks. I've had to rewrite offers for people as a listing agent. These things all matter, you guys. It's called offer presentation. It's so important now for home buyers who are getting really tired and are getting black eyes every time they go to try and purchase a property, because it's really tough out there when you only have, 100 listings in the entire city for under $400,000. So even in a non-competitive situation, all of these things are super important and will help you get the best deal possible when you're looking for a home, for your dream home, big transaction, multi-$100,000 considerations. So if you have any questions at all about strategy or how to present offers in the best way possible when you're shopping for a home, call or text 403-382-7335. I would love to have a real conversation with you. And you can like and subscribe my channels on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll see you for the next one. Take care. Bye.